What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Pod Scum. I am your host, Reckless Rex Ruger. That is, of course, the Freddie Mercury puppet. I am in the flesh. He is in the felt. But the bottom line is we are here and we are bringing another amazing episode. You're taking a look. You're scrutinizing. You're thinking, where do I know that face? Those luscious locks, those smoldering good looks. Well, let me answer that for you before my guest gets in here. I, of course, as you all know, and soon the world will know, once DNA testing is conclusive, that you are looking at Diamond David Lee Roth Jr., and it should be pretty evident. I have inherited greatness. Not that I don't still work at it, but much of it has been inherited thanks to Pops up there, which is why I have the honor of being the son of glam, the front man for the band, adored by millions of fans, the peanut butter to your jam, Mr. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, wop, bop, loo, bop, wop, bam, bam, shazam, hot damn. Woo, chickadee ching, that kid can sing. He's got star power, shucking, jiving, moving, shaking, and always bringing you the best content anywhere. That's what I do. That's why I'm the hardest working man in show business, if you want to call this show business. 2 separate podcasts on my channel. You know how we get down. The most amazing and real conversations anywhere on planet Earth. We're all over the board with it, chopping it up about God knows what or what direction we'll go in, but always promising to be entertaining. That I can assure you. And again, I mentioned 2 separate shows. If you're a fan of pugilism and you like your boxing, check out Off the Couch Boxing. That is also on the channel, separate playlists. And of course, if you're into the music, arts, entertainment, Pod Scum is the place you need to be. And make sure to follow both podcasts on Facebook. Let me do my shameless promoting here before my guest gets in here. Off the Couch Boxing and Pod Scum on Facebook. And of course, if you're here on the channel right now, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit that notification bell to stay tapped in. That's essential, crucial. And my guest is here right now, so we're going to get into it. I'm excited about this one. Again, your boy, Mr. International. We're going overseas. We're taking it over to Ireland. We're off. Here we go. And I don't know how we even do it, man. I don't even know how we do it, but do we got him?
Hello.
Just got to get your camera up. That's all. Yep. I can hear you fine. There he is. What's up, man?
All right. How's it going?
I'm glad we finally got a chance to do this, man. So I want to make sure I get it right. Matt Bree, correct?
Yeah, that's it.
I want to ask you first and foremost, man, when you're singing extreme death metal, I'm always curious about this. Do you ascribe to any type of a voice care regimen, or can you just get up there and just belt this stuff out?
Cigarettes and whiskey, man.
Is that the secret? That's the secret I've been missing all along. That's the key to being a great front man, whiskey and cigarettes.
Yeah, no, I don't do anything, man. I do a lot of low register stuff, so it's not as harsh on the vocal cords as I would imagine people that are out there screaming full on.
Yeah.
But I think in a lot of death metal and black metal, it's a bit more sort of refined. It's not as torturous. No, you can make a lot of disgusting sounds in a low register.
Oh yeah. Now I'm glad you said that about disgusting sounds, man, because you guys are an extremely heavy band. Can extreme metal ever get to the point where it loses its melodic sense and becomes too heavy for the sake of being heavy? I don't know if I can cite any bands as examples, but there are bands where it just seems like a sheer wall of noise. I mean, you know, as a death metal guy, man, can music be too heavy?
I don't think so.
No.
And there's so many different. It's such a subjective topic anyway as well. You know, what one person thinks is heavy is completely different to another.
Right.
There's some bands that go into the sort of noise territory.
Yeah.
So that's heavy in its own right. Then there's stuff like Portal, which is just wild fucking horror music.
Yeah, that was one of the bands I was going to refer to. That was one of the bands, and oftentimes I should have known that you would know them, being in somewhat the same genre. But a lot of people do not know of them.
Yeah, no, I think because their intention is horror and chaos.
Yeah.
Now they hold it together very well. There's other stuff affiliated with them, stuff like Grave Upheaval, Impetuous Ritual. They again are in that realm of fucking chaos. Like it's an Aussie thing.
Yeah. It must be an Aussie thing. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
So as well as that, you have stuff like Gospel of the Horns, Destroyer, Slaughter Lord, Sadistic Execution.
Yeah.
So Aussies are just, they're cut from a different cloth.
And most of the time, man, when you hear the name of the band, you pretty much know what you're gonna get too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for a lot of them, all right. Yeah, Portal's a bit more ominous and undescriptive, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's.
Yeah,
I
but
think
when you
that
hear
would be.
sadistic execution, though, I mean,
Yeah,
you're not
yeah,
getting Barry Manilow. You know, I mean,
yeah. And the logo then as well is just fucking violent logo. Do you know? It's
and so for you specifically, how does the journey start for you, man? Getting into music and especially extreme metal, because obviously it's kind of a niche market. Not everybody's into it. It's certainly not for everybody. How do you find your way to it?
I suppose just listening to get to the extreme point. Would have been sort of mid to late 90s and listening to stuff like Pantera and Slayer and stuff like that. And then there was a natural progression to Cannibal Corpse. Then that led to Cryptopsy, None So Vile. And that one, I was pretty obsessed with that as a kid. And then, yeah, it just sort of sprawled from there. Now, at that point, we used to travel to, myself and one of my friends from home. I'm from the West Coast. So we used to travel to Dublin just to pick up CDs and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Or if we'd any relations going up, we'd just give them a shopping list and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it was harder. And again, just of that era and all before it, you're just seeing bands you like, what t-shirts they're wearing, the thanks list in CDs and
Yep.
records and stuff like that. And it's just a very natural, just a natural process. I think as well, when you've invested in that way, you give records more time. You know, you're more committed to it. You've spent money, time to get it. Whereas
Right.
now, when it's just at your fingertips, as convenient and mind blowing that is, it's just not the same experience. But yeah, there's a place for all of it, I think.
Now, as a death metal frontman yourself, is there anybody that you look at in the genre as I don't want to use the word idol or influence or whatever, but is there a guy or guys maybe that you look at that really do it to a high degree that you admire in the genre?
There's plenty. There's no really specifically, but yeah, I suppose like early 90s, Glenn Benton was just fucking evil.
Yeah.
Dave Vincent was great. Luke LeMay from Gorguts. Yeah, there's plenty. Nowadays, it's just I want the whole thing to work in unison.
Right.
A front man just should be another part of it, in my view. I don't know offhand, man. There's so many amazing frontmen, band members. Yeah.
And do you like pulling double duty? Because I noticed in your band you sing and play guitar. I mean, whereas a lot of guys, John Tardy, Corpse Grinder, a lot of the guys just focus on the vocals because obviously that's got to be pretty taxing and brutal. You know what I mean? You're using your throat as your instrument. You also play guitar at the same time. Do you like that role?
Yeah. So when we started off, there was 3 of us doing vocals. So we just had our own little niche within it. So with that as well, it wasn't as taxing because you're sharing duty. But yeah, no, I wouldn't be as comfortable just going up with a mic. I think it'd be weird. I suppose I'm just used to playing an instrument as well.
You feel like the guitar is kind of like that, almost like a safety net.
Yeah, and it's also better rocking out if you've got a guitar in your hand.
It is, yeah, it is. Now, see, I was drawn to you guys because, I always like to look for like what stuff is coming like internationally. Obviously, we have a lot of great death metal bands here in the United States, man. But I am always obsessed with all things Ireland too. I really like. I mean, I've got quite a bit of Irish in me, but I've never been to Ireland, man. But it doesn't always. And correct me if I'm wrong on this. It doesn't always seem like. And maybe that's just me being here in the States, but what is the music scene like there? Because it doesn't seem like you see a lot of, especially extreme metal. I mean, obviously we know like U2, what I mean? Like we know bands that have come out of Ireland or whatever, but what's the metal scene like there in your area?
Yeah, I think for years there was only a couple bands like Abaddon Incarnate. Then there's obviously Primordial have always been there, doom band called Morning Beloved. And then there was litterings of different ones throughout as well. In more recent years, sort of since around the time that we had started as well, there was more extreme stuff going on with bands like Zom, ourselves, Verkalac started. There would have been a lot of other sort of more just brutal death metal bands and stuff like that came and went, and trash bands. But as it stands now, it's healthy. There's Sacrilegia, Coscra, Callous Master. I'm going to leave out a load, like, but just it's healthier.
So it's a
But
growing
again,
scene. It's a growing scene.
yeah, well, to an extent, because it's a lot of the same people within these sort of bands. There's still that sort of that other vein of bands that are playing away. Just they're not really to my taste for a lot of it.
Yeah.
There's other Zellicult then as well. They're just pounding away for years. Do you know Zellicult?
No.
You know, good Limerick band. So they've been playing sort of Floridian death metal for years. But outside a sort of core group, there's just, it seems a bit more scarce on the ground, like.
And now you mentioned like a lot of these guys like pulling double duty and being in multiple bands. You yourself, you know, are you involved in multiple projects? I sometimes find it fascinating. I'll talk to guys on here that'll be in 4, 5, 6 different bands, and I wonder how the hell they find the time. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, they must be doing music 24/7. Are you involved in just Malthusian or multiple projects?
Yeah, currently it's just really Malthusian. I was playing drums in a band for a short period. A couple of years ago, we released an album. That was easier because I'm not writing stuff. Well, I'm writing drums, like, but it's a different aspect to it. Then yeah, so Tom that plays with us, he's in Adori or Engrave Miasma, so he's busy. Yeah, I don't know. Some people just have the capacity to do it, but it's not for me. I just, because I currently the sole songwriter.
Yeah.
I sort of just give it all to that. But yeah, so it'd be on downtime. If I had time that I could dedicate myself to something, I'd prefer to do it that way, not to be trying to pull in too many directions, like, you know.
And so, what's the creative process like for the band? Specifically talking about Malthusian. So you do most of the creative work, or is it collaborative? You know, what's the involvement of the other band members?
Yeah, well, me and Johnny would. Johnny plays drums. So it's the two of us are the original members. We have it nailed down now that we practice a lot. So we wrote all this plus the last one, and then the guys come over. Tom lives in Bristol, in England, so he comes over when he can, when he can, and yeah, then he adds in his bits. Then a new bassist, Fed, so he only got on board last year. He came out with loads of ideas. He's just full of enthusiasm, and he's an amazing musician. He plays.
So what's the lineup? So what's the lineup like right now? Do you feel like you guys are anchored pretty well right now? Like you mentioned, like a new member or whatever. You know, have you had difficulty in the past, like with lineup changes? And does this feel like a good, solid, stable lineup currently?
Yeah. So in the past, it was just the 4 of us. Then Tom had done a US tour for me in 2015. So then when Andy left, it was an obvious choice just to get Tom in. And then Paddy left a couple of years ago. And then we were just sort of going ahead with the 3-piece for a bit. But then we got Fed involved to record the album. So we need to go back jamming. It's been quiet enough for the last couple of months, just putting the album together outside of that.
Yeah.
So we'll see then what the dynamic is like when we get back to the stage and jamming and whatnot, like.
And now I see the new album is coming out in August, though, correct? August 8th?
August 8th, yeah.
The Summoning Bell. Now, 8 songs. It doesn't say on Apple Music yet, just because, you know, there's only the one song available right now to listen to. But how long will the album be in duration? And first of all, I love the fact that you guys are doing the LP rather than, you know, the current trend seems to be people are releasing singles. They're doing shorter bodies of work, EPs, you know, I mean, stuff of this nature. I don't think that's as prevalent in the metal world. But do you guys sit around and think about how long you want the album to be? Because it does seem like a lot of times people nowadays, you know, dwindling attention spans, people aren't sitting down and consuming albums in their entirety. Do you give that much thought when you're creating an album?
Not really. So there's 2 aspects to it. Firstly, fuck them if they won't sit down and listen to an album.
Yeah.
So there is an intention there with some of it. The intro is about 3 minutes long, which will piss off people as well.
Yeah, that's always good. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. The album itself is 56 minutes. So it is longer than your sort of more usual 40, 45. Structured well. We were aware of it, but also wasn't going changing something just to accommodate something that we felt wasn't worthy of accommodating. Yeah, I don't know. I like an album to be a journey that you sit into it.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I say that constantly on here, man, that it used to be the old days, and I'm 52 years old. So, you drop the needle or you put a CD in or a tape, like whatever is your format, and you went for the journey, as you said. You took the whole ride. You didn't skip around. Oh, I like track 1. Oh, I like track 8, and then I'm done,
Yeah. The purpose of an album is to do it start to finish, really, like,
Yeah.
There's no other option there. So that's the way it is.
Is conceptual? Is there a theme or something conceptual to this album? Or, an underlying theme or a message or something in it? I mean, when you're writing these songs, like, what was the spark of motivation?
There is. I can see it's not for everyone anyway. So I can see a thread line between all of it. And that was intentional. I have nothing really to say on that, but there's plenty of themes within an overall theme, but that's just my own view on it, given I'm not involved in it.
Right.
So it mightn't be as obvious to other, nor does it have to be. It's all open to interpretation. It's art, motherfucker. Right.
It's art. Yeah, it's art. Interpret it any way you want it, for God's sakes. I mean, you'll find your meaning in there somewhere when you're listening to it. And obviously that can vary with different people. Now, what about touring? How active are you guys touring? Obviously, I know touring, from talking to musicians on here, super expensive. Not as easy as it once was to do. What's you guys' itinerary like as far as touring and how long you'll go out for in support of this album, where you'll go?
Yeah, we're all open to it at the moment. It's been quiet for the last couple of years. Obviously, we had the plague, which sort of stopped things for a while. Then we had lineup changes. Then we wanted to put our head. Well, we did a split with Suffer an Hour during that period as well. Played one gig with Sadistic Intent. So it has been very quiet for the last couple of years. Johnny, our drummer, plays in another band, so he's out the whole time. McKenna plays in 2 bands as well, so they're busy. So we just have to put everything in its correct order. There's no real we all have jobs, so that is always going to work into it. So 2-week stints and stuff like that is probably the ideal. And obviously open to playing anywhere. Like, that's the beauty of the game.
And was it frustrating because, as you said, you did the split in 2022. Your last full length was 2018. Obviously, as you said, a lot of factors happened in there. We had COVID. We had lots of stuff. You alluded to lineup changes and all that kind of stuff. Is it frustrating to go that amount of time in between projects for you creatively as an artist?
Sort of. See, the other thing is I had recorded the other album, which sort of took up 2 years with the other band. When I was playing drums, so that filled that sort of gap somewhat. But yeah, it's sort of, if anything, it just leaves you with the thirst to get back to this.
Right.
Give it your all. It's a long time. So we toured in 2019 with Suffer an Hour. That's where that all originated. And then obviously into 2020, things changed pretty dramatically.
Yeah.
And then, so a couple of years just disappeared. We jammed a lot, wrote the album. Wrote the split, then wrote the album. So it's a long time, but it also seems like no time has passed at all. Just stuck in some fucking purgatorial. With it. But yeah, no, it finds its own pace. It needs to be something that your daily life can cope with as well. Because your everyday stresses and shit like that. You don't need the band becoming a stress on top of that.
No, you don't. No. If you're not looking for the stress, it'll find you. That's for sure.
That's the beauty of the beat.
Now, what about the States? Have you had much of a chance to tour here in the States?
No, there was a short run in 2015 with Imperial Triumphant. So that was 5 gigs, including a now defunct festival, Martyrdom, which was New York. Outside of that, there's been nothing. But yeah, it's on the cards. We'll see if your country's still standing.
There's always that too. There is that. So for you, man, like, what's the formula for writing a song? Like when you sit down, like what typically, like what's your own individual creative process? Like what comes first for you? A title, a line, a riff? How does it start for you?
It's all riffs, bit by bit. Then bring them out. Myself and Johnny will jam them. Then start piecing everything together. Yeah, it can be chopped and changed. You might think you have a good thing going. You go back to it 2 weeks later, and you're like, right, well, this is shit.
Yeah, this
So it's
sucks.
just a constant. Yeah, yeah. How did I think that was an option? But yeah, so it's a slow enough process. Sometimes it works very quickly, and that's amazing. Other times it's drawn out, and you're
Yeah.
chopping and changing. Sometimes just leaving songs behind altogether. Thankfully, with the advent of phones, cameras, and stuff like that, you're demoing constantly. So you
Right.
record every jam. You can sit home, figure that out, see if that needs to be shorter or longer. But generally, yeah, for me, it's always riffs. I put sections together and then just work from there, jam them out, see how they feel.
What about when lyrical ideas come? Like, what do you do? Like, are you a longhand guy? Are you writing stuff down? Are you humming or singing stuff into your phone? Like, what's the format that you get stuff down? Like, if an idea comes to you and you're out and about doing whatever.
Yeah, it's always on the phone at this point. I've plenty of lyrics written and stuff like that. But then with this, I felt because there was a sense of a cohesive concept in my own mind about it. So I would just write on the phone whenever something took me, and then go back over them, change them constantly till they're ready to go.
Yeah.
That's about the half of it. This is the thing: if someone's doing, if someone's sole instrument is vocals, they have more time to think about that. Mine is about just how it sits over the riffs I'm playing. Yeah, it tends to come together. I suppose since it's all coming from me, it makes sense in my head.
And what do you think your listening trends are like when you're going to listen to music from a fan standpoint? Do you tend to fall back on your old favorites, stuff that you've always liked, or are you able to discover new bands? Obviously, with the streaming platforms, there's an influx of new music on there daily, thousands and thousands of songs, and certainly no shortage of music or whatever. If you're going to listen as a fan, are you able to find new bands that excite you, that you like?
Yeah, no, I constantly on the search. A lot of them don't really hit as much. I do find then that it's older records that seem to really obsess me in the way that I used to when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too.
It's funny that they're just sitting there waiting for you in plain sight a lot of the times. But I'll constantly check out. There's loads of new bands that sort of tick boxes and stuff like that. There's just so much music, man. And I know everyone says it, but I listen to all genres. So it's depending on my mood, what I'm going listening to. Then also depends if I'm on for searching further into this. And yeah, I don't know. It's a constant journey at all times, searching just different music, different styles, different, I suppose, emotions that come with listening to different music, situations. Just, yeah, I don't know, man. Since I've been a kid, it's all I know. So it's just a widespread.
Why do you think it's so hard? Do you think sometimes that you feel like when you're trying to find new music that you just feel like, when you tap into something that it's already been done or maybe been done better by somebody else? I mean, like when you're trying to find new bands, like what is it that you're looking for? Like I remember being young when first getting into extreme metal, and me and my friends were always trying to like outdo each other. We're going to find the fastest thing, the heaviest thing. How much more brutal can we possibly go? Pushing the envelope. But now a lot of those bands exist. I don't know how much farther the envelope can be pushed as far as speed and heaviness. Like when you're looking for new music, especially in the extreme metal genre, since, that's pretty much what we're talking about. What do you look for?
It just depends on the day. Depends what. Sometimes when you press play, you'll know immediately. You're like, right, I don't like certain aspects of it. If it's too modernist, too modern sounding, if your headspace isn't in that, a lot of the times you can go back to these things and it will sit better. So it depends on your moment what hits. There's other times when you're listening to something, you're like, oh, it's close to a sound that I think I want to hear.
Right.
So I can go searching for something. I don't know. It's just, I don't really know how to articulate it, man. It's just a part of me that's always been, and it shoots in so many directions at all times. And these things, when they land, they land. I'm not particularly looking for something. I do always enjoy unsettling music, stuff that, just puts you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So a lot of that would relate to metal, but then at the same time, I might want to listen to Thin Lizzy for the day. You know, it's constant music, and a constant search and journey. I don't have a straight answer for it, to be honest.
And now where is the?
I know what I like, and I know how to find it, I suppose.
And now, who comes up with the band name? And for people that won't understand or know, can you explain the origins of it and what it means?
Yeah. So it's the Malthusian check. It's about it's whatever 1700s theory that the land can't sustain the population growth. There's nothing more to it, really. It's a cool word. That was it. Some people overanalyze it. Yeah, do what you want, but
don't overanalyze it, people. Don't overanalyze it. Yeah,
do what you want. It's fucking of absolutely no consequence.
Yeah, that's true. Invite people. Yeah, if you want to do a deep dive on it, you go ahead and do it. Do a deep dive on it.
You're welcome to it, but don't try and ascribe us to it either. Like, you know, so.
School people a little bit on, because as I said, I've got some Irish heritage in my background as well. School people on the, we'll go off the music for a minute and go in a different direction. It seems like oftentimes what I find frustrating about the Irish is the lack thereof of good cuisine. School us on what's a good meal over in Ireland, because I think people often think stew. I think people think cabbage and corned beef, which I don't believe is attributed to the Irish if people do their homework. But I think oftentimes, like, we think great food from the Chinese, the Italians, French food is always raved about. You know what I mean? It seems like Irish cuisine, it seems like those two words just don't even go together.
Yeah, my first answer was going to be stew.
Stew, there you go. You're right, and that would have been right, and you would instantly played your whole hand right there.
Yeah, there's a Dublin version of it which is called coddle, which is boiled sausages. Again, it's essentially a fucking stew, like just a different take on an old classic. So there is, of course, bacon and cabbage. The corned beef thing, I've never heard of it outside of Americans saying it.
Yeah.
Guinness is a drink, which also feeds you.
Yeah. Right. So beer is considered a food group there. It is,
let's
right?
Go with that, yeah.
It has to be at this point. It has to be. I mean, when you're short on that many dishes, but beer is so prevalent, you got to make it a food group. I mean, you guys got to have something.
Yeah. So, potato and Guinness, that's probably it. So
potatoes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and thank God you did settle on the potato, though, because it is very versatile. You can do a lot with it.
Yeah. Well, it depends. If it's there, you can.
And now what about now at our St. Patrick's Day parade here in upstate New York, I have often gone, and there will be people with booths who are saying that they are selling authentic Irish stuff. And one of the things that they're always selling, and maybe you can elaborate on this, soda bread.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know if it's authentically Irish, though, is it? It's just,
I don't know. Yeah.
But we eat soda bread. We eat all types of bread. I don't know how authentically Irish. I've never really thought about soda bread on any sort of deeper level.
I'm making you think about it. I'm making you think about it today.
It's lovely with the stew.
Yeah.
I've no idea, man.
Yeah, there we go again. Now the soda bread now is it's contingent on whether there's stew involved. So we're right back to the stew again.
Yeah. So it's a beef and Guinness stew with soda bread. Yeah.
So if I were to come to Ireland, man, I on a vacation or whatever, man, I would have to try Irish stew. And what would be the difference? What would bowl me over about Irish stew that I couldn't get here in America from a stew, man? Like, what's special about an Irish stew? I mean, like what makes it fun to you?
I have no point of reference for having other stews, so I don't know about that.
Okay,
but it's just it's a hearty meal. You've got everything in it, and the flavors mix because Yeah, it's just made in a fucking pot.
You didn't think you'd be talking about this. I know that.
I didn't, man. No. So you do a boxing podcast. You should start up a food one as well.
That's a great segue, man. Maybe that's why you have a future in podcasting. Great segue. Are you into the sport on any level?
Yeah, I am. Absolutely, man. Yeah, I love boxing. Yeah.
And any particular favorite fighters?
Yeah, there's loads. Again, it's like music, man, depending on at the moment and the way it is with the trilogy hopefully coming up. Bivol and Better Biev are like them. The first two were unbelievable.
Yeah, they were.
As far as Bud Crawford, of course, it's an endless amount.
Obviously Crawford and Canelo, it looks like are going to fight at the end of this year. Now, where do you rate Crawford's chances in a fight like that? He's coming up several weight classes.
Yeah, it could be too much of a jump because even if you look at Canelo going up against Bivol, that was too much for him.
Yeah.
Whereas Crawford's gone up, what is it, 3 more?
Well, by the time he gets to 168, he'll have gone from where he was undisputed at welterweight at 147 all the way up to 168. Yeah, so he's going up 3 weight classes. Yeah.
So I don't know. Canelo's obviously slowing down a bit, but I don't know. You can never rule him out.
I think people have this theory because Canelo has been turned pro at like 15 years old or something ridiculous, and he's so far into his career. I think people have this idea, and he certainly has wear and tear on him, and he's got a lot of fights under his belt or whatever. But he's the younger guy between him and Crawford.
Right? Yeah. Is he?
He's only 34. Crawford is 37.
Right? Yeah. This is it. I suppose that he has always been there. Crawford doesn't fight as frequently.
Yeah.
So it's just, and I suppose just ruling across a couple of. He was on a run for a good few years as well, so it was all Canelo. Yeah. It still is. Like you can set your clock to your Cinco de Mayo fight, and it's
September and May. Yep, September and May every year. Yeah,
it's great. The one that again back to that Bivol fight was just mind blowing because I'd never seen him so shook.
Yeah.
And then watching him is just like textbook boxing. It's incredible. That's why the potential trilogy against Better Biev, because the aggressive nature of Better Biev going against just this meticulous, perfect in and out boxing of Bivol is incredible. I was a big fan of, initially Conor Benn was looking good, but it turns out he's a fucking cheat. Like, so. Yeah.
Although I will say that fight that he just had with Chris Eubank Jr. though was amazing though. Amazing.
Yeah. It's just total scrap.
The British fans are the best, man, because 80,000 people, 70,000 people in the stadium to watch those two main events, no belt on the line, nothing on the line. British boxing fans are pretty amazing. They really are.
Yeah. Well, given the history of the fathers and stuff like that, and the fucking sort of wrestling nature of Senior just appearing in the lift, and then it's all on. There was a great so obviously Liam Smith had knocked out Eubank in that first fight, which was fucking spectacular. And then Aaron McKenna, the Irish fighter, on that card as well, fighting against Liam Smith, which was unbelievable. Like I hadn't seen him fight before. Edge of the seat, he was just perfect. He's got it all between the height, the speed, the technique. It's fucking fantastic. So I need to look into him a bit more as well. I like the Smiths as well, though. They're a good boxing family from Liverpool. Yeah.
Now Ireland has boasted a lot of great boxers, man. I mean, Ireland makes them tough. I'll give them credit, man. I mean, there's got to be a great boxing scene in Ireland. I've had several on my podcast. Good young. Right. It seems like a lot of Irish guys who get into boxing. I don't know. Like, what would you attribute it to? I mean, is it just from being from Ireland? It just breeds tough guys.
It sort of has to be that. We were always fucking oppressed as well, so you're fighting against something at all times. Like, I don't know. It is. Even the women are good boxers, like,
Yeah, I know they are. I mean, Katie Taylor. I'm one of the best.
Yeah, and Kelly Harrington as well. She won in the Olympics. So there's still there's plenty of fight in us. That was it. What was it? Whiskey was invented so we wouldn't take over the world.
Right. I don't know, man. I can think of worse people running the world right now, though. I mean, I don't know.
Nah, man, our government is a joke as well. If it was left to the people, maybe, but
Yeah,
politics is politics, and it's
it
for
is.
cunts. Like,
And so you know, we talked about touring in the States, man. You know, when you're in an extreme metal band, what does it mean to a band, you know, of your status, you know, from another country, coming and playing in the States? You know, is that like the pinnacle? Is that a big push, you know, for a band that's in your position in your region of the world?
yeah, sure. It's always, yeah. There's a idealization of America. I suppose because we're speaking English on the island, we're far too influenced by England and America.
Right.
So it is seen as the sort of holy grail. Personally, like the lads have been over there numerous times. Personally, I'd like South America as well. I think that'd be fucking rabid. Like,
Yeah, they got great metal fans down there. Yeah.
yeah, they're lunatics. Like, so it's just anywhere. We've done Europe a good few times. So it's just to get out of your zone of comfort. Tom was down in China with Grave Miasma either last year or the year before. So that's a wild notion to go to that, and all the sort of the experiences that go with such a culture shock. Japan would be amazing as well. I don't know. I just like playing music. I'm happy to go and talk shit to people, and
yeah. And now, are you somebody that looks at, like, you know, when your album comes out in August, you know, there's lots of independent music journalists who specifically zero in on extreme metal. Are you somebody that looks at reviews or buys into like the feedback? Obviously, it's important, you know, that your fans enjoy the music or whatever. But you know, journalists or people that review albums, do you look at this stuff? Do you feed into it at all? Do you put any stock in it?
Obviously, I'd like for smoke to be blown up my ass about it.
Sure,
but,
sure.
In general, if someone's reviewing, I find a lot of the newer ones are reviewing stuff that they like, so there's nearly no point in that.
Right.
Then a lot of them working for whatever sort of publication or whatever. If you're given a heap of records to listen to, and you mightn't be in the mood for each one, or I don't know what the process is, I don't care. It's not going to change my music, like,
Right.
or our music. And I think it's somewhat of it might be fallen by the wayside more. So it's not, a career isn't dependent on it anymore, in the same way it may have been back in the day. Because
Right.
a lot of the bigger ones are sort of gone. You've still got your sort of, yeah, I don't know. It depends on the day. Do you know, it depends on the review. If someone sends it to me, says this is good. Like we've got slaughtered in reviews before that I've enjoyed the review.
Yeah.
So if it's just all part of the course, man. I don't know.
Is it one of those things where, like, you know, I know a couple that I've read, and you just, and again, it's so hit or miss. You don't know what the criteria are or what they're looking at, but like, you know, I know a couple will roast bands, you know, as we talked about before, you know, based on the length of the project. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, this went on too long, you know what I mean? Or too many songs, or, you know, stuff of that nature. I'm wondering, you know, I like what you said earlier about fuck it. You know, we're putting out a full length album. I'm not going to give any thought to that. This is clocking in, though, as you said, 56 minutes, just under an hour. That's a pretty bold move, though, in today's music world, though. I like that, though, man, because it seems like, as we said earlier, with the attention spans, you know, people just aren't consuming music like that. I mean, 56 minutes is a pretty bold endeavor.
Yeah, but it makes sense in the context of it. There's an intro and outro, and what can be an interlude. So the intention is for the full journey to have its ups and downs,
Right.
to just bring you. I suppose the tune we've released is the most straightforward song on the record. And that works in my mind, which is the most important. It works perfectly in the album where it is after the tune before it and what comes after it. I just like the journey of the album. I enjoyed writing it and plotting it out. And that's sort of where it ends for me. What everyone else thinks of it is beyond my control. But yeah, it works for me.
And now, who does your album artwork?
That was a guy called Mitchell Nolte. He did the front cover. He's an Australian fella. It's amazing. It's an old Irish picture of a man with a scythe, but I decided to get rid of that as it sort of creates a different focal point. My
Yeah.
intention is just about this man on an Irish coastal old road, that you don't have to know where he's coming from or where he's going. It's the beauty is in the unknowing.
Yeah. So what's his story? What's this guy's story on this desolate road?
I don't know.
You put your own story to it?
This is it. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're all on some fucked up story.
You're damn right we are. I can relate to that guy, I think, on a lot of levels.
Yeah. I'll send you on the original picture.
Yeah, please do.
That
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel like I am that guy. Oftentimes I'm going through life like that guy. I don't know if I'm coming or going.
Yeah. Well, we're all in the same boat. And
We're all in
if
the
you
same
don't think
boat.
that,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And so how fast are I don't know like what rate what speed or what rate you produce songs or music, but how soon do you start to think about, like, I know this one comes out in August, but I imagine you wouldn't want to wait another 5-6 years for your next project or whatever. How soon do you start to think about amassing material for whatever comes next? Do you already have songs written? Have you already started to write? I mean, I don't want to put the cart before the proverbial horse. I know this comes out. This hasn't even come out yet, but how soon do you think about following it up?
Soon enough. I've an idea in place. So I suppose this harks back to your question earlier on. I have an idea in place of this sort of style and pace of the next one. So we'll see what happens when we start writing with that. But yeah, no, ideally just get cracking. Whenever I'm feeling inspired, when we get back jamming and stuff like that, discuss it. But both myself and Johnny have, we've discussed the intention for the next one, and we're on the same page with that. So it's a starting point at least. So it is being thought about. So it's always in the offing. A few other things on the way as well. There's a split to come out. We did a song for an Irish horror movie.
Yeah.
So there was an edited version used for the movie, and then we're going to release the full length version, which is a 10-minute song, on a split with the band. So at this point, that'll probably be next year. It'll definitely be next year at this point.
What's the Irish horror movie? My ears perked up when I heard Irish horror and movie all in the same sentence. Those words all just came out of your mouth.
Yeah. So it's a film called All You Need Is Death.
All You Need Is Death?
Yeah. So it's
I had to clarify because at first I'm going to write that down. At first I thought you said all you need is debt, and I said I got plenty of that.
Yeah. No, that is a fucking horror movie though. Look.
Yeah, that's a horror movie right there. Yeah. You just entitled your horror movie Debt.
So there's one of the guys that's an Irish sort of doom folk band. I suppose that's the term, but it's trad and folk called Lankum. And Lyncher from Lankum did the soundtrack, and then he asked us would we write a song for the end credits. So we did, based on just one vocal air. Yeah. And then we were allowed to do whatever we wanted with that. So that was a good.
Now, do you get a sneak peek at the movie, or do you just write the song blindly for a movie you haven't seen and just say, we're just going to give you a song?
Yeah, we were sent on a couple of little clips. Actually, no, we were sent on an edit of the movie. Which set the pace.
So it's a movie that's already out. It's already out, right?
Yeah. We went to the premiere and all this carry on in Dublin. So that was we were late.
Wow, look at you! You death metal guys are out working the red carpet, huh?
Yeah. We were fucking. It was on at 2:00 in the day, and we were late. So just as we were walking in, and we're sitting at the front, and then the director was there, and he's like, "And here's the band." It was myself and McKenna and her two girlfriends. It's like, here's the band. So the whole place looking at us and clapped. So that was fucking mortifying.
Yeah, you're right on. And so now you get the chance to play like reviewer. What was your assessment of this movie that your song is in?
Yeah, it's great. There's a soundtrack for a start is fantastic. What Lyncher did with that is class. Creates a great unease that's very complementary to a horror movie. The premise of the movie, I don't want to ruin it for you, but it's a very, very original and very Irish premise, which is fantastic as well. There's plenty of cameos then of people that you'd sort of see dotted around that play music and stuff like that. So there's an enjoyable factor to that as well. But yeah, no, it's great. Definitely check it out. I don't know where you can stream it or what the crack is, but you'll find it handy enough. It was received well.
Is the
So
killer making Irish stew out of body parts?
yeah, that's all it's about, man.
That's it. Or the lack of cuisine. Maybe like maybe it's a killer just going on a rampage because he can't find any good food.
Yeah, it's just another famine movie, like.
He's tired of stew, and he's tired of potatoes, and he's tired of soda bread.
Yeah.
And I don't know where the corned beef ever came, because I tried to research that last St. Patty's Day, man, and apparently there's no link between the Irish and corned beef.
Yeah, I've never seen it or heard of it outside of an American going on about it. Yeah, so I don't know. Where do these things come from?
That's kind of a big deal, though, right? Like, you don't hear a lot of death metal music on movie soundtracks. Maybe in other countries you do, but even when you made the comment, I was racking my brain trying to think, have I ever heard death metal, in a soundtrack, kicking the movie off, rolling the credits at the end even? I can't think of any.
Yeah, in horror movies, so you've obviously got Cannibal Corpse and Ace Ventura.
Right.
Then in horror movies, Morbid Angel or in Night of the Demons 2. There was another Irish movie. Fuck, I'm not going to remember it. It was directed by Randall Plunkett. So it's called The Green something. But he did a full soundtrack of metal music on that. So we're in that as well, actually, during this drunk driving scene. And this woman's just listening to one of our tunes barreling down the road. Outside of that, I can't think of anything offhand. But there has to be. It's just it suits the nastiness of a horror movie, really, I suppose.
Yeah, it does. It seems like it seems like it would be a happy marriage. You think you would see more of it in horror movies? I mean, now for people that don't know, are you guys currently with a label or are you independent on your own?
No, we're with Relapse.
Okay. And so what's that relationship been like? Because obviously there's so many people now in the age of streaming that are able to, maybe not successfully do it, but you can do it yourself now and get your music out there easier, but you don't really have that push and that support, man. Like, what's it like being a band that's on a label as opposed to not being on one?
Well, we've always been on since our first gig. We were signed after our first gig before we did the demo even. Okay. So the songs written. So we were on Invictus, which is an Irish label, fantastic label. And one of our good mates runs it. So that was an easy marriage there. Then for the last album, we had Dark Descent, the American label. Yeah. They released that. So that was a co-release. So with it, it's just we've always had a label there they'll pay for our recording, stuff like that. So far, obviously, Relapse is, there's a lot more people involved. They cover a lot more ground, literally and figuratively. There's people that are just there to help you with whatever you need. So far it's been good experience. So I don't know. That's it.
And now let me ask you now, because you do play guitar really quickly. Who was the guitar influence? Who first got you into wanting to pick up a guitar?
My friend playing drums. So I had a drum kit when I was a kid. Then my friend started playing. Then he got a drum kit, and I could play a few bits on guitar. So at that point, we were only 9 years old or whatever. So I was playing Nirvana songs and Rage Against the Machine and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then it just led from there. It was always about being in the room and playing music with someone. Is just something that I've always wanted to do. There's plenty of people I absolutely adore playing guitar. Obviously Trey is massive. It's just, again, it's an endless fucking. Yeah. There's just so many, like. But I don't know. It is, as I say, it's just about wanting to play music with people, to feel something take shape and come alive is just amazing. Even when we were just doing covers, it was about just rocking out with your friends. It's good pastime. There was plenty of drinking as well, so it's maybe not so good a pastime.
But you still managed to get some stuff done.
Yeah, in between.
Yeah. And now, obviously, even though I'm here in the States, you're in Ireland, the international reach of Van Halen is probably everywhere. And I'm imagining that you can obviously tell, man, that I am to my knowledge the one and only love child of one Diamond David Lee Roth. You're able to tell, right?
It's right there in your face, man. Absolutely.
I'm going to add your name. I'm going to add your name to the list of people in case we need to subpoena you in the DNA case.
Nice one. I can't actually see a Van Halen. I can't see a Van Halen poster there, but I'm a fucking massive Van Halen fan. Like.
Oh, Diamond Dave is up there. He's always prevalent. He's up there in the corner, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Deadly. Daddy.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You know what, man? That's all I want to do. I just want to be able to call him daddy and have that, have that teary-eyed father-son reunion. Up to this point, in 52 years, he's been pretty much a deadbeat.
Yeah. He's just tap dancing his way through the world, like.
He's tap dancing his way through the world. But I am going to get to go see him, though. He is coming to the casino in my area in August doing his solo thing. And he does look and sound better than ever. For a while, he was really getting like a whipping, as a lot of those guys do from the 80s, about how they can't cut the mustard no more. They don't have the chops anymore, or whatever. But he's actually seems like he's figured it out. I watched some recent videos of him doing a festival, and seems like he's found his register. He's added some background singers or whatever. So, like, I think he's finding a way to make it work. He's doing all early Van Halen stuff.
Sweet. Yeah. Would you have seen Van Halen during the 80s when he was still?
No, I did not. No.
Yeah. Sweet. Even have you seen Van Hager?
Oh, come on. I would never.
Yeah, man, there's some amazing Van Hager.
No, there's some great songs. No, there's some great songs. Just as an old school guy, I just prefer the Roth stuff. No, you can't deny that when Sammy was in the band, though, man, they had some great material.
Yeah, it's a different fucking buzz, like, but it's it's incredible as well, like.
Yeah,
but definitely, no, I'm 100%. I'm on board. It's my favorite is first era, the David Lee Roth era, without question.
It is the best.
Yeah. Just that first clean sweep of albums.
Yeah.
It's just perfect, man.
I know
Fair Warning.
Yeah.
Fair Warning would probably be my
amazing.
My pick of the
yeah, the best.
Yeah,
the absolute best.
Time.
Yeah. And so this album comes out. August 8th, man. Are you emotion wise, like, what are you feeling? Like, happy, excited, nervous? I mean, this is the first full length you guys have put out in quite a while.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see when it happens. I feel sort of nonplussed about it at the moment. It's just been in me for ages. So it's good to see it take shape, come out. I think it's great. That's the most important thing.
I appreciate you doing this, though, man. It's really been a pleasure getting the chance to chop it up with you, man. I'm glad we got around to doing this, man. And for sure, keep in touch, man. I'd love to have you back on again, man.
Cool. Yeah. Nice one. Thanks a million, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And certainly best of luck with the album. I'm looking forward to it, man. Very excited for it, man. So
cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice
Yeah.
one.
We'll talk again soon, Matt. Thank you so much, my friend.
Cheers, dude. All right. Bye-bye.
Later, brother. There he goes, folks. Matt Bree, guitarist and vocalist for Malthusian. If you like your music heavy, and if you watch this podcast, I know some of you guys out there love your music heavy, and then there's heavy. And Malthusian falls into the latter category. I'm not going to give you that again because I am not a trained death metal vocalist, so I don't want to hurt anything, sprain anything. I've got another interview to do, so... but listen, man, that was a lot of fun chopping up. And again, doing what we do here on PodScum, we was all over the board with it. Food, boxing, movies, music, of course. So that's what we do here, man. Shoes off, kick back your feet, free-form conversation, chopping it up about this, that, and the third. I never know where we're going to go, man, but Matt was a great guest, and I appreciate him being on here, man, all the way from Ireland. Your boy, Mr. International, a.k.a. the King of Sleaze, does it again. Putting another great one in the books, man. And again, be on the lookout for Malthusian's new album, The Summoning Bell, which that song is available right now on streaming platforms. The full album will be out August 8th. So counting down, man, 6 weeks or so, give or take. So be on the lookout for it, man. Gonna be a good one, man. These guys really bring it, man. And I'm always on the hunt for great music coming out of Ireland. I consume all things Irish and Ireland, so it's great to see extreme music coming from there. As Matt kind of alluded to, not the most burgeoning of metal scenes over there, but Malthusian is flying the flag for death metal out of Ireland, man, and thank God for that. Didn't really offer up much in the cuisine category, which I didn't think he was going to pull out any surprises on me. But again, we're right back to stew, soda bread, cabbage, potatoes. I mean, Come on. We got to get some people coming up with some, well, I guess, I don't know, it'd be a heritage thing. At this point, coming up with Irish dishes would be kind of trite. I don't know if it would even matter now. I guess they'd have to be from years and years ago, part of the tradition. And I guess Ireland just wasn't thinking cuisine back in the day. They dropped the ball on it, man. They were surpassed by the Italys and the Frances and the Chinas and the all these countries with great, rich. I'm getting off on a tangent here. Never mind. Let's just call a spade and agree on the fact that Ireland not big on cuisine. So no one's going to come out of a place or make you a recommendation that say, oh, that new Irish restaurant, to die for. You got to try it. You're probably never going to hear that. But you will get great beer, you will get great music, and you will get some of the most kick-ass motherfucking people ever. Musicians, boxers, just anybody that I've had the pleasure of chatting with from Ireland on either podcast. It's always an amazing experience, man. So love my Irish peeps over there, man. And add Matt to that list, man. Matt Bree from Malthusian, pulling double duty as guitarist and vocalist. As I said, be on the lookout for The Summoning Bell. That will be out August 8th. And again, thank you to Matt Bree. And make sure, as I said before, when I was pimping the podcast before Matt came in here, let me just touch on that one more time. Make sure to like and follow Off the Couch Boxing and Pod Scum on Facebook. And make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay tapped in. This is your boy, Reckless Rex, reminding you to always take it easy and always keep it sleazy.